my window really dirty? You can see those horrible little streaks. I've got to sort that out before I start filming. Hello, good morning. Today, first of all, I want to shout out to Jean T. Is it Jean T or Jean T? I don't know, in England I'd see that spelled as Jean, but that's probably completely wrong. Shout out to you, you got the correct timestamp in the last video for the thumbnail. Avid watcher of the channel, commented on quite a few of my videos. One that comes to mind straight away was you were the one that mentioned to me in my NHS pay rise video that while the NHS were fighting for more than 1% pay rise, the HMRC were currently getting a 13% pay rise at that time. So thanks for pointing that out to me among many of your other comments. But yeah, you get today's shout out. Same again in this video. If you can find the thumbnail for the video and put a timestamp in the comments, you will get a shout out in my video. Like I said before, I would give out prizes, but I ain't got any money. I don't know. If I get 1,000 subscribers and I start getting about £1 a video or something, then I can give £1's worth of prizes out. Yeah. Anyway, today's video, I want to talk a little bit about Talk Radio station. Rupert Murdoch owns radio station. They currently have Talk Radio and Talk Sport in the UK. They currently get combined, those two radio stations, because I'll add Talk Sport in it as well, because the poisonous politics from Talk Radio infests Talk Sport as well. They get about 4 million listeners a week, and that's just the radio station, let alone all the YouTube clips and the reposts on Facebook and social media and stuff like that. So they got quite a sway, they got quite a lot of influence. And I happened to stumble across a clip from they've brought it to the attention, but the public doesn't even really know. There was a recent Extinction Rebellion protest in London where they smashed a couple of windows. No one knows about it really, but they wanted to. So as you can see there, a few students being a bit of a pain in the eye. I mean, I don't know what you feel about Extinction Rebellion. I mean, my feelings are they're a very extreme group, but the majority of people do want to get the message out there about the environmental crisis. But a couple of students smashing a few glasses, is it a big deal? Is it newsworthy on a national news radio station? I don't think so. But as you'll find out, I guess it probably serves the agenda of Talk Radio and Rupert Murdoch himself. So, you know, important issues in the world. We've got a serious climate change problem. Weather is just getting out of control. Record level temperatures on Earth, ice caps are melting, the amount of plastic in our seas is just out of control. Say what you will about Extinction Rebellion, but I suppose they're still putting the message out. So what have Talk Radio got to say on this very, very important issue?
I must confess, when I first saw footage from that, there was various people had Reuters, had some, the Met had some, and the Sun had various bits of footage. I was sitting there thinking, none of you lot have ever wielded a hammer in your life, have you? You are the most extraordinarily cack-handed hammer users. I mean, quite possibly as cack-handed as it's possible to get.
That's what they're concerned about, their hammer skills. Because, you know, I was thinking when I saw this, I'm like, well, you know, I don't think I really agree with smashing windows, but we do need to get the point across, you know. Environmental crisis is very, very important. That's what I got from the video. But it looks like Talk Radio are more concerned about their hammer skills.
As cack-handed as it's possible to get.
Yeah.
I mean, I realise women tend not to be as good at practical things as men are. That's a stereotype, it's true. But at least
Being a woman,
Dad,
you're allowed to say that. You see, I can't say that, but you can.
Otherwise, you'll be cancelled.
It's good to see Talk Radio pushing the sexism issues and equal rights. Basically what that is Mike Graham can't say sexist things, but he'll get a female on to do it for him. That's basically all that is. That's how they get away with that. But anyway, going on to this video, they get this woman on, Helen Dale. I've never heard of her before. Apparently she's a lawyer, so if anyone wants someone on their Talk Radio show to push their agenda, I guess a lawyer's probably a good place to start with that. But yeah, they want to talk about these few nutters doing a demonstration. But obviously they've got their agenda, so I don't know, they want to start talking about the environment crisis, but instead of actually talking about how they'd like to fight it or what they think should be done about it, they just go into a tirade about socialism and, like how agriculture in Soviet Russia, because obviously we can't fight the climate crisis without becoming a socialist, communist country, can we? We can't do it as a capitalist country. No, because these crazy 7 people are obviously pushing some sort of communist agenda because they're a little bit loopy. But TalkSport, they want to talk about communism in a climate change debate.
Conservation used to be a feature of the right of politics. It was not on the left, because the socialists and the Marxists are huge advocates of modifying the environment and making it the servant of man.
Yeah.
In that sense, you see that Marxism very much does have Christian roots. It's very much the dominion over nature.
Now, I don't want to show too much of this video because it's just, it's hard to watch. I'm going to put a link in the description if you want to watch the whole video, but I've really tried to actually understand what the hell this woman is talking about. I mean, I guess she's just saying that socialism is bad. I mean, that's what she's saying, really, which is not, it's not a discussion for climate change, is it? We're trying to talk about climate change here.
But also, it did involve socialism and socialists getting into extraordinary pseudoscience. And the most famous example of that pseudoscience was Lysenkoism, which, of course, is the inheritance of an argument that you can inherit acquired characteristics. The easiest way to describe this is, imagine, for example, that if you went around and snipped off cats' tails. Okay? If Lysenkoism were true, those cats would have at least some kittens that had no tail because you'd snipped off the tail. So it's
Cat's tails. Cat's tails. What are you talking about? Have you actually gone insane? Am I actually on a different planet now? Is this a national radio station talking about cutting cats' tails? What are you talking about? I have no idea. I've tried so hard to understand this interview, but I can't understand it for the life of me. I don't know what they're talking about. Cat's tails. Climate change.
But nuclear is a good start. Nuclear keeps the lights on. It deals with the problem of intermittency, and because it's a very dense form of energy, it also deals with the problem of diffusion with renewables.
Okay, so here we are. Now we're getting to the point of this whole discussion on Talk Radio. Nuclear energy. Now, all you need to do is just Google Rupert Murdoch and nuclear energy, and you'll find out why Talk Radio would be pushing a pro-nuclear energy agenda. It's not hard to find out why. So we've gone through, I guess we've hit all the key notes here for Talk Radio. So we've started off with a couple of loony communists, lefty guys doing a stupid demonstration in London, smashing some windows. So we've demonstrated that anyone that cares about climate change is obviously a crazy, loony communist. We've talked about how bad Soviet Russia was during communism, and that's obvious. So we've linked those two things for everyone. So now most people like me were probably very, very confused about this whole interview because they were just talking absolute nuts. So you have to just try and grab the key points. So, right, loony left communists, environmental crisis. So anyone that's talking about environmental change is crazy, loony left communist, and we're going to turn into communist Russia. And oh yeah, nuclear energy is good. But solar panels are bad. Now, nuclear energy, I mean, you can have your own discussion about that. I mean, it does have a lot of arguments for and against, but I mean, when I've looked it up, I mean, it kind of equates to me like the American gun argument, where they want more guns to fight the people with the guns. It kind of seems a bit crazy to me. We've got an environmental crisis, so let's create lots of nuclear waste. Like I say, I don't know, I'm not an expert, but just my brief research on the subjects, nuclear plants are incredibly expensive to build. I mean, in this interview, Mike Graham goes on about how expensive solar panels are to produce, and how much carbon you need to use to ship all these goods and actually make these solar panels in the first place. But he doesn't want to talk about the expense of a nuclear plant, how much that costs, because that's an absolutely insane cost. Accidents, we've seen accidents happen in Japan and such with nuclear waste, and nuclear waste in general. It creates nuclear waste. I can't see how it's a good thing for the environment. But you know, I'm not an expert, but it doesn't, like I say, it just seems like the more guns to fight guns argument in my case. But yeah, I mean, the main thing for this video is really, I just want to put the message out that I think this is quite a dangerous radio station. I might do a few more videos on more topics that they come up with, because they've got about 4 million people listening to them, and like I say, that's just the radio station, let alone the people watching their videos on YouTube and being posted on Facebook. And it's not helpful. How can we combat that when the UK media is just saturated so bad with right-wing propaganda? The radio stations, we're going to be getting the news networks soon, the Fox News style TV shows that are coming to the UK, and obviously you've got the papers and all the bits posted on Facebook from these new TV stations that are going to be more prevalent. I don't know. As always, give me your comments, let me know. Take care, guys.